Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a more kind of discussion based video, Celtic talk kind of video, where I usually have my webcam on and I talk to you and I give my opinions on situations that are, currently quite concerning within the club or just to be spoke about. Today obviously a bit different, there's no webcam, I'm not got it on, sorry about that, just a lot of time at situations and stuff like that, so I'm just kind of talking. But yesterday was a really pivotal day within this season for Celtic, hands down. A couple of situations arising from the game, within the game, that now need to be discussed and acted upon in a number of different ways. And it's a very, very concerning time now. For me personally, I feel like we are in a very concerning time, all considering the situations coming up the next month, European football. It's a very, very pivotal time now, these last few days of the transfer window, and we'll talk why. So obviously yesterday at Celtic Park we took on Hibs with the 1-0 win, and a performance that wasn't spectacular by any means, and the signs are still there that the team are physically, maybe even mentally, not at the paces we'd expect them to be, not what we'd like to see. The signs were still there that the winter break hasn't done too much, but hopefully, I don't think it's anything to be overly concerned about. At the end of the day, we still won the match, we still got the 3 points. I feel like we can't be too overly critical at this point, but obviously improvements still need to be made. And the performances on the park, the first half was decent enough, I thought, but the second half was quite sloppy, quite a flat performance once again, and that lack of urgency just seemed to still be there within the team. Still things to be worked on, I suppose, but that wasn't the main takeaway from the game. We managed to get the 3 points, lovely. We're still, runaway champions. We will win the league this season. The main takeaway from the game yesterday is these rather big situations in the form of injuries. Craig Gordon, first of all, let's address that situation. Craig Gordon, his season looks to be done. A very high chance of it being done. Now, he could come back. There's not been an actual time given for his injury. There's no official, he's going to be out for this amount of time. It's just speculation, I suppose, at this point. But Brendan Rodgers has labelled it as a serious knee injury. Now, when it comes to knee injuries, and especially when they're serious, you're usually looking at a long-term injury. The majority of the time. This could be an ACL tear, it could be just overall buckling the knee, it could be a lot of problems, and obviously Craig Gordon has quite a storied history with injury problems. He missed a lot of his career due to injury problems, and I believe it was with his knee. So this could really be a career problem for Craig Gordon. God forbid it be a career ender. I'd love to see him come back, because honestly I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Yes, he has his moments. Yes, he does get his fair share of abuse off us, but I feel like this is a time where we need to rally together and give the guy some support. I do honestly hope he comes back, speedy recovery as best they can. But Brendan Rodgers has himself said we may be looking at getting a new goalkeeper. We may need to get a new goalkeeper, and in all honesty and being realistic, we do need a new goalkeeper. That is just that is the story now, and that was the last thing we needed heading towards the last 3 days of this transfer window. By no means did we want to have to throw another player into the mix that we need to sign here, because we're already, trying to find our way into getting a centre half. We're already trying to, maybe loan in Charlie Musonda or get a player of similar quality that brings some attack and flair. The last thing we needed was to add more stress onto the manager and the board to spend more money and make another transfer happen. In the inside of things. On the out, it seems like things have been done, but now all we have is Doris de Vries. Connor Hazard has been loaned out to Falkirk. Craig Gordon looks as though his season's done. Doris de Vries is the only option. And I'm not saying Doris de Vries is a bad keeper. As a first team keeper, do you know what? He might do for the next 6 months, but we don't have a backup. So we need to sign a goalkeeper either way. And honestly, Doris de Vries has showed signs of being a good keeper, but I would just prefer if we signed someone who is going to add some first team depth moving forward, because it is getting to the point where a lot of fans were demanding for a replacement goalkeeper. So maybe this is the time to actually do it while Gordon is injured. I'd feel sorry for Gordon. I really don't feel like he deserves the abuse he was getting off of some fans, but now is probably the time to invest in a first team keeper. Options are open. There's a few names I'd like. Jeroen Zoet's a guy who I've always just kind of liked the sound of getting from PSV. He's won the championship in Holland. He's a top player for that division. And also I've just got a really keen liking for him in FM. I feel like he could add quality. There's a few options down south that we can go to in the form of backup keepers who would make a fantastic difference to Celtic. And there's even, Artur Boric, why not go for him? Artur Boric probably isn't the best option, but there is a lot of options out there. But the financial strain it's going to add to the club now. It's not a lot, it's not going to put us in debt or anything, but you know, obviously the board don't like spending a lot of money, and if we want to sign a centre half, then this wasn't the best time for us to need a goalkeeper as well. It doesn't add strain really, it just adds financial difficulty because the board don't like to spend large sums of money. We know that. We know that fine well. So it is quite difficult, and it's came at quite a difficult time. But honestly, do hope Gordon comes back. But a really big problem, because now we obviously head into this month where we've got the Europa League football without our first team keeper, who has been vital in big games this season, from A, you know, costing us losses, and B, sometimes causing us further embarrassment to already embarrassing scoreline. So it is really gutting to see Gordon go out for probably a long time and potentially harm his career moving forward, depending on the severity of the injury. The other injury also picked up yesterday, which has to be spoken about, is Leigh Griffiths. Leigh Griffiths, a player who has been, you know, really trying to solidify his place as the first team striker, trying to show he's better than the other options in Moussa Dembele and Odsonne Edouard. And this season, yeah, it probably has been, no denying that. And that's coming from me, as you know, a very big Moussa Dembele fan. I love to you know, hype up Moussa Dembele and say he's the best at the club and such. But this season, Leigh Griffiths has pretty much been the best striker at the club, and it's confirmed he'll miss the Zenit tie as well now. So difficulties there, especially with Moussa Dembele seeming like he's still not quite at the level we'd like him to be at as well. He came on yesterday, but one thing, what I said in the podcast, if you've not watched it, go back and listen to it. I would suggest that heavily if you like discussion. I think we've just got to be patient. The guy was on the park for what, 60 minutes against Hibs, and people were losing the rag. Some people weren't, that's not every fan, but fans were losing the rag with him. And it's his first, you know, 60 minutes of football since before the winter break. So I feel like patience is needed there, but obviously we would love to see him quickly as possible get back to the form we need him in. But now is the time for Moussa Dembele to show why he is as good as what people like me say he is. He's got that opportunity. Also, I wish Leigh Griffiths a speedy recovery. I hope to see him come back as good as he is. He was so close to 100 goals for the club, and he's been struck with this injury gutting, because, you know, he was picking up some momentum in his season. That was 2 goals in 2 games there from the return of the winter break. So he was picking up momentum quite quickly, and would have loved to carry it forward, and this injury has knocked him down a little, which is gutting. So obviously hope he comes back. But now Moussa Dembele has to grab that, you know, a wrestling term, we'll use here, brass ring if you like, and impress the supporters again, get him back on his side, and ultimately deliver in that big European game against Zenit St. Petersburg, as that's the games we know Moussa Dembele likes to thrive in and likes to get goals. So he needs to play his best in that game against Zenit. But obviously a very difficult time now for Celtic moving forward, with 2 major injuries, 2 of the top players in the club now out for lengths of time. There's no official timestamps on any of them, as I've said, but hopefully as quickly as possible they will recover. But it does add difficulty going into the last 3 days of this transfer window. It's going to be incredibly difficult for Celtic to satisfy each and every supporter. Is impossible. It's not going to happen. No, you know, there's not going to be a perfect response from the Celtic fans, because we know how difficult it is to please us. You go into social media, people are unhappy with a young man signing and are unhappy with an older man signing. There's no pleasing every single supporter, and now there's just more fuel added to that fire of players that we need. Our goalkeeper's now needed. We're looking at a more desperate need in attacking flair now, and still defensively we need a player. I mean, Boyata played right back yesterday. And not saying he'd done a bad job, in all honesty, it wasn't too shabby. But, you know, is it the right thing to do heading into big European games playing Dedrick Boyata right back? No, it's not. So defensively, options are still needed. Attacking wise, needed more now without Griffiths. And in goals, we're looking at a situation where it's vital to sign a goalkeeper. That does it for this video. If you have enjoyed, like and subscribe. Let me know your opinions, I suppose, in the comments below. Do you think we really need a goalkeeper, attacking player? In what positions do we still really need in these last 3 days, and how desperate are we for those positions to sign? We're nearly at 10k, so please smash the subscribe button and share the video if you can. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time.